Hello everyone, so today I'm talking through some overrated products with you. So these are products that people talk about a lot and that get potentially really hyped up and that I don't think are really worth the hype or are just a bit meh. And I'm actually doing this video in collaboration with a lovely friend of mine who is AMELIA here on YouTube, and she is awesome. We've actually done a collab together quite a while ago now. I think it may actually have been April 2014 or something crazy like that. It was a super long time ago. I will link that in the description box below if you want to go and have a laugh at that, because my hair in it is terrible. I digress. I love AMELIA. We got on so well, and we met for lunch the other day and we decided to do an overrated products video together. So her overrated products are in a video on her channel today, and obviously mine are here. So I will link AMELIA's channel in the info box below. You should definitely go and subscribe if you are not familiar with her, because she is awesome. She's such a babe. And I will also link her video somewhere around here. So today I have got 10 products that I feel are completely overrated, so I hope you guys enjoy this. And just a reminder that this isn't necessarily that these are bad products at all, it's just they really don't work for me or my skin tone, or you know, maybe I'm not using them right. So if you feel like I'm using something in a way that could be better, then let me know in the comments. I'm totally open to loving these. And the product I'm going to get started with is the most expensive product of the bunch, and this is the Oskia Bedtime Beauty Booster. I've used a fair amount of this so far. I'm actually quite surprised at the amount I've used of this. I was kind of determined to love it, but unfortunately I didn't. This is meant to be like a super nourishing, really lovely moisturizer that you use kind of before bed a couple of times a week, and it's just not anything special. I find that it can actually break me out and cause like little pimples under my skin, and I thought that it might be that I was using too much product because it is quite rich and heavy. I use the tiniest amount and it still kind of gives me little under the skin pimples, and it just isn't all that great. I don't find that my skin looks any more fantastic the day after using this than using like my normal Kiehl's moisturizer. So for £75, this is definitely not worth the money and not worth the hype that I've heard people talk about this. Next up is a product that I feel is kind of controversial to say that I don't like this, because everyone seems to love it, and it is the Goddess Skin Clay Mask by Charlotte Tilbury. It visibly lifts, smooths, brightens and tightens pores for baby skin. For me, this is just a standard clay mask. I don't really feel that it does anything more than any other clay mask that I own. I actually find that it's quite drying. If I apply this using my hands onto my face, my hands are like the Sahara for the rest of the day. It is crazy. And I find that it kind of has the same effect on my face as well. My face just feels drier, and I've heard a lot of people say that this is kind of hydrating, and I have no idea why that is, because it definitely does the exact opposite for me. I'm still enjoying using it as a clay mask. I think that it does kind of a decent job of a clay mask, but for the price and for the hype around this, I don't think it's really that great. I think it's good, but not amazing. The next product is one of the first that I ever kind of rushed out and bought when I first got into blogging 4 years ago, and this used to be so hyped up, and I thought I'd just do a little throwback mention to this because this was so not worth the hype. It's the Soleil Tan de Chanel, which used to be Chanel Bronze Universal, I think, and everyone went nuts for this 4 years ago, and it was meant to be like the best thing ever, and I just found it really hard to work with. I didn't think it was any better than a lot of the other drugstore bronzers that I had on offer at that time. So I feel like this is just one of those cult products that is completely not worth the hype. And another product that I feel is one of those cult products that lots of people in the beauty industry talk about and that I feel is completely overhyped is the Clarins Beauty Flash Balm. It's kind of one of those things that is meant to brighten and tighten your skin, and I just don't really feel that it does anything more than a kind of standard primer, so I just don't really feel like this does anything for me. I don't know if it is because my skin doesn't need much brightening and tightening, but I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this, because I just don't really get it. And now we have something that I was completely adamant that I was going to buy when I went to the US, and I hunted high and low for it because I had to have it in my life, because so many people had talked about how good this stuff is, and it makes absolutely no difference to my hair, and I feel really disappointed. This is the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day 5-in-1 styling treatment. I don't really feel like it does anything for my hair. My hair just feels completely normal, if not a lot more knotty. It maybe makes it thicker, but I find that my hair is almost impossible to brush through if I've used this, which is so strange. And I've spoken to so many people and they've just said that they absolutely adore this, and I don't understand what the difference is. It's a very, very strange product. Let me know if it has worked for you and kind of how much you use and how often you use it, because I just kind of feel like this really didn't work for me. This next one is a slightly newer release to the beauty world, and I feel like this has been talked about so much, and I was really excited to try it when I got my hands on it. And this is the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops. And this is basically a product that is extra coverage that you can add to a moisturizer or a lightweight base or something like that to create your own coverage and basically your own foundation. The concept is a great idea and it kind of can work, but I find it very, very difficult to work with. You literally have to use the tiniest amount, and if you go too far, even just like one drop, that is kind of like a full face of like medium coverage foundation. So I find it hard to get the tiniest amount, and it's just quite difficult to work with in that respect. And I also find that the finish of it is just not very flawless. I have so many more bases that are both lightweight and medium coverage to heavy coverage that I would rather use and that make my complexion look way more flawless. I don't really understand the point of this. I think it might just be me, but this for me was just not worth the hype. Next, I'm going to move on to mascaras, and I have two brands here that are so ridiculously loved, but I just don't get on with these mascaras. As a disclaimer, I'm super fussy, like ridiculously so with my mascaras. It has to be something that is lengthening, volumizing, really thickening, and it has to be jet black and not too kind of hard and crispy when it sets. I'm just the fussiest person ever. That being said, these mascaras are ones that just really did a very bad job on my lashes, and I do have naturally quite long lashes, they're quite dark, so it's not really like I need a lot of help. But for me, these really failed in the defining and separating as well as the volumizing aspect. They give length. If you like a kind of very fanned out fluttery lash, which is something that I personally love, these are not the right ones for it. So the first one is Benefit's Roller Lash, which I want to love so much because I love the packaging more than anything, and so many people love this, and I've seen so many people use it and their eyelashes look absolutely gorgeous. And the next two products are from Fairy Drop. These are very, very wet mascaras, and that just doesn't really work well for me. I find that it just tends to stick all of my lashes together and I just have like 5 ginormous eyelashes. So if you love that look, these will be great, but for me, I feel like so many people have talked about these and rave about them, and they are gorgeous. Like, the packaging is absolutely stunning. But for the amount that people rave about them and they sell out as soon as they go online, I kind of don't feel like they were worth the hype and the rush to buy. And now we are moving on to skincare, and I have a product that I've seen featured a lot recently on various YouTube channels. Lots of my friends absolutely love this, and I have tried to love this so much, and so many people have just been praising the crap out of this recently, and I got my hands on it. It's the Kate Somerville Exfoliate Intensive Exfoliating Treatment, and this is basically a really terrifying looking green exfoliant mask which you pop on your face. Literally, I think it's for like 1 to 2 minutes. If you've got incredibly sensitive skin, you're recommended to not even use it for a minute. And I have come to the conclusion that my skin must be insanely sensitive because it burns my face. And a lot of other YouTubers have said that it does sting, but for me it's so intense that I can't actually bear to have it on my face. So I was a bit disappointed with this one just because I've heard so many people talk about how amazing it is, and for me it just did not live up to expectations, and it must just be my skin, but for me it was just completely overrated and overhyped, and I'm quite disappointed with it. And the final product is an eyeliner, and this one is either a duff one or it just really does not live up to all of the hype that it gets. It is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper, and Claire Marshall loves this, so I must have a duff one, but basically this, no matter how much I shake it before use or I warm it up or whatever, just looks so watery. And I don't know if it's because my collection liner that I'm so used to using is just so black and intense and matte that nothing else compares, but this just kind of looks a little bit grey in comparison, and I just felt a little bit disappointed with it because I've heard so many people talk about how awesome this eyeliner is, and Kat Von D is like eyeliner queen, so for her to have something that is super watery really shocks me. So I don't know if I have a duff one, but for me this really wasn't worth the kind of search. But anyway, that is it for my overhyped slash disappointing slash overrated products video. I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said earlier, I will link Amelia's channel in the info box below and her video as well, so definitely go and give it a watch. But I hope you're all having a lovely day, evening, weekend, whatever you are doing, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.